As a personal response, the learner needs to know how the text is linked. This is also developed as a skill in reading. As I said, reading is not for the purpose of just reading. It has a purpose of understanding, and it has a purpose of developing. It has a purpose of sequencing. It has a purpose which has to be logical. There has to be a link between one sentence and another. There has to be a link between one paragraph and another. And there has to be a link between the thought behind what is being read. So this personal response would be only expected from the student when the text is linked with one another, when the methods of teaching reading are so that the text can be linked in the minds of the readers. So when we, as a teacher, we are doing one line or one sentence of reading, then we have to give a signal or a sign or some sort of a clue that how this one sentence is being linked to another sentence. We have to look at that, and we have to develop the skill of looking at the sentences, two sentences, the link between the two sentences, or the link between the two paragraphs, or the link between the thoughts that has been developed in the text. Only then such a response would be expected from a student. In case the reader has not been able to develop this response, that means the teacher has failed somewhere to instruct on talking about linked text. The reading allows the reader to link the text from one event to another or from one fact to another. Therefore, those linking words or those linking hints or clues must be noticed by the students, and that has to be developed by the teacher, that how she is going to instruct them to look at the language, find out which are the linking words. For example, very simple linking words are and, but, next, finally. These are the words that we know that they are the words with which we link our conversations or with which we link our writings. And as a reader, when we are reading these, we know one thing is connected to another. So the student will develop a habit of looking at the linking words and looking at how the texts are being linked, and only then would be able to produce a personal response in the form of talking or in the form of writing, which are the productive skills which we teach to our students. But that cannot happen. We cannot expect a linked version of writing from our students until and unless we tell them what are the features of this linked text, what language we need to use in order to show that this is a linked text, and how can we tell them that this sentence has to be linked with the next one in a sequence so that it shows some link. It should not be showing a vague sort of a writing in which one thing is not connected with another. So that means all the personal response of the student from reading would be shown or displayed by the reader in his writing. So in order to get our students do good writing, we need to develop the skills of reading and looking at these features in detail so that they understand that only when they would be looking at these words and responding to them and would be looking at these features and would be following those rules of connecting, then only they would be able to produce a linked text. A linked text is very important to make your writing authentic and valid, because without the link, there is no meaning to the text which is being given. And so many times the students, they write well, but they cannot link because they have not had an understanding of what is a linked text or how to show that something is linked.